Why is the right magazine so important? Hey guys, so we're going to talk about today why having the right magazine is so important and why you shouldn't skimp on your magazine, all right? We have three different types of, or three different of the same magazine, but from different manufacturers right here. And you're going to see in this video how they work or they don't work. No matter how well your gun functions, right? No matter how well it's designed by the manufacturer, if the magazine is junk, it's not going to work, all right? So the magazine is just important. A well-engineered magazine is just as important as having a well-engineered gun. They have to work in unison. If the magazine's bad, it sucks. Now, these particular are probably one of the most remanufactured or copied magazines out there for your Glock, all right? So all three of these magazines would be made to fit in a Glock 17, Glock 19, any double stack Glock 9mm, right? And you see these in stores all the time. So the first one we're going to look at right here is this Amend 2. It's an Amend 2 magazine, and they stamped right on there, made in the USA. It's got a big red number 2. It looks all fancy. This magazine right here actually will not work at all. It will not work with brass case, steel case, aluminum case. It will malfunction every single time, all right? So this is one of those options out there on the market. It's amazing to me that companies will design and engineer products like this, as important as a magazine that your life might depend on, and they'll put it on the market, and then you end up buying it, and it could potentially cost you your life one day if you don't come out and test it. It is absolutely useless. Yep, there it goes. So the magazine, we just lost 2 bullets, just fell out of this thing. There were 2 rounds in here. So yeah, man, this is freaking trash, total trash. So if you have an Amend 2 magazine, I actually think what these were made for is when you get really pissed off and you're having a terrible day and you need to go out and smash something, you buy these Amend magazines to take out. You set them on a rock just like this, and you take another rock and you take all your anger out on this Amend 2 magazine. All right? So this is now an Amend 2 magazine that this is how they should look. You should break every one that you should find, and then you should take them and toss them in your burn barrel, because that's freaking dangerous to have a magazine that doesn't work. So shame on you, Amend 2, for making a piece of junk product. The next one we're going to look at, you guys all have heard of PMAG, all right? This is a PMAG for a Glock, 9mm, same thing, we already talked about that. Now, the PMAG is going to be your next best option aside from a true Glock mag. Now, the difference is the PMAG, it's a good durable mag. It feeds well if you're talking about brass case ammo. The PMAG is not steel lined, all right? So the problem with the PMAG is if you try to use steel case ammo, it's not going to feed in your pistol PMAG, all right? It's just not going to work. We've tried it dozens and dozens of times out here on the range, and the actual casing on a steel case ammo, it's too rough. It's not near as smooth as brass, and it will jam the magazine up, and it's not going to work. But if all you shoot is brass case, I would say, yeah, you save a little bit of money, at least for the magazines that you just use out on the range. These PMAGs are sufficient. You're not going to have tons of malfunctions out of them. Now, I'm not going to use this magazine in my Glock that sits beside my bedside at night. I'm not going to do that because I have a better option. You know, Glock, just like everything else, they figured everything else. They built and designed and engineered an amazing weapons platform, and they didn't cut corners on the magazine because they obviously know how important it is to have a good magazine to pair with a good pistol. Now, Glock magazines, as I said earlier, they're steel lined, so you can feed any type of ammo through a Glock manufactured magazine. Steel case, aluminum case, brass case, these things are going to work. They last a long, long time. I've had Glock magazines that I've left loaded in my safe, fully loaded, for a freaking year and pull them out and they still feed the rounds. The spring doesn't get worn down in them. It's just a really, really great piece of gear. It's just as reliable as Glock, the pistol. So they really figured it out. I would highly suggest that you spend the extra money and all the magazines that you buy, just buy Glocks magazines. They're going to last you for forever. And also in your pistol caliber carbines, like we've reviewed on the channel before, these are the magazines that I would use in those too. So it's really important, guys. We just wanted to put that out there, show you the difference between kind of the different options that you'll see from the OEM version from Glock to the PMAG, which is the best option, I think, for your aftermarket, to the absolute piece of freaking trash that we busted and threw in the trash from a men too. It really matters. Think about it. You get what you pay for. And not everything that you buy off the shelf at your local gun store works. That's why you have to train. You got to see if it works. All right? Enough said.